Live, this is One for the Record. I'm Diana, and today is June 7th, 2012. It is Thursday, the eve of Friday, and we have a special guest online. We have uh, Martin, the bass playing Martian, and he has called in between his gigs. Hello, Martin, calling in from California. Are you there?
I'm here. What's on your mind today, babe?
Hey, we were going to talk about Hollow Earth, and you could tell the viewers a little bit about Hollow Earth.
Yeah, you're talking about Admiral Byrd. Okay, his flight, he was, I think, if I'm right, it was part of what they call Project Paperclip. And I think, if I'm right, don't totally quote me on that one, but I guess between a little morphine, a little this and that, sometimes you get a little confused once in a while. Anywho, other than that, though, yeah, he took this flight up to the North Pole and discovered uncharted land
Oh,
and what he called the Great North, the Great, the Great North. So, something to that respect.
yeah.
And what he came across was an entry, and in that entry, he found that the gravitational movement in there had water that, like, as if you're on this side, on the outside, how water, floats. I mean, water is just in the ocean. Well, it had its own kind of water, and it was doing the same thing, but more of a. It was a circle with its own central sun.
Wow. Uh-huh.
What he saw, and this kind of validates why Bigfoot is so elusive. He saw prehistoric creatures under there, which also validates uh, why they've seen animals that we know as mammoths and sloths, prehistoric sloths.
Wow.
He's seen creatures like that uh, walking amongst inhabitants there were humanoid like but very tall. The reason why I also validates why Bigfoot is so elusive. I mean, they can never find the son of a bitch. Uh, Bigfoot himself, I think, knows not even the North Pole, but knows the entryways, whether it's in the Pacific Northwest or anywhere in the U.S. or anywhere worldwide, but knows these places. And then again, sometimes they also think that Bigfoot himself may be like a ultra terrestrial in a way.
So,
Can exist on our time frame continuum as
so,
well as their own. Like just kind of crossing over. Like standing on a line, but
yeah.
being able to switch over on each side. So, anyways, that may explain why he's so elusive because he can just go and go as he pleases. And I'm not the only one who says this either. Um,
So Bigfoot's like a big Wookiee out of Star Wars.
okay, if you want to call it that, yeah. If you want to call it that, you can call it that. I call him big son of a bitch, is what he is. But Admiral Byrd took a ride up there.
what?
Took a ride out there.
When was that?
To the,
What year was that?
oh God,
Around.
that I'm not sure. I have to look. I have to look back in my notes that I have.
But it was like
Back
World
in
War II or something around there. Around World War
I
II.
think I think it was, if I'm right. Yeah,
Oh,
I think Admiral Richard Byrd, and
wow.
like I say, he saw beings that were what we know as sloths
Wow.
and mammoths. What I saw in
Oh.
I believe it was UFO magazine
Uh huh.
and or oh god, I think it's called Fate magazine
Uh huh.
were actual pictures.
Wow.
that was above. Okay, recently on TV, you may have seen it yourself, and even some of your viewers may have seen it too. But they got video of maybe a small herd of what we know as mammoths
Mm.
moving, and they tried to prove it as maybe it was CGI, but they really couldn't confirm it. You know, they just kind of went, oh, you know, kind of how do you say, the issue of it being CGI just kind of faded. They couldn't figure it out. So you know,
Mm.
whenever they can't figure it out, they just kind of bullshit its way in changing the subject and you know, like a lot of skeptics, like
Yeah.
that jackass who's the editor of Skeptic magazine. I forget the asshole's name. I try
Oh.
not to remember assholes' names.
Oh,
But
oh, oh.
anyways,
What's his name?
hey, you know
Jack
everyone.
somebody? Jack somebody? No.
Well, I forget what his name. Like I say, I try not to remember assholes' names.
Oh, oh,
And,
oh.
and you know,
Oh.
he's probably going to hear this, and I really don't care, you know, because his opinion is like mine. You know, we all have one, and you know,
Yeah.
you know, and you
So,
know what that's like. So,
so don't you
yeah.
do?
So,
Don't you do house cleansings and stuff like that? Like if people have problems in their houses with paranormal things, I heard you
well,
do that
yeah,
on
I
the
do.
side of playing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I do. That's why I became a free-form reverend. When I say free-form, it means I like to have a drink once in a while. I love sex whenever it's there, and it's been quite a while. But and I like to cuss, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm a free-form reverend. But my thing is, I don't marry people because, you know, why set someone up to go to the divorce court, you know?
that's
So,
true. That's true. There you go.
but my thing is a house cleansing. Uh, I don't do it for money because that's not the way it's supposed to be done. I do it for barter.
But
They want to buy me a pack of guitar strings, lunch, um, treat me to the movies, buy me a DVD, whatever. I'm fine with that. But
or a
I have
donation,
I
probably.
have a sex I have a success rate of like 85%
Wow.
of what I do. Of
So,
what I do.
so is there a way someone
And
that can get in touch with you?
yeah, they can get in touch with me at mg1960 at att.net.
And don't you have a website for your band?
For my band, yeah, if you want to hear some music, this is just one of the bands that we have a website. Go to YouTube and look up Thick as Thieves.
Thick as thieves. Okay.
Yeah, Thick as Thieves. And
Okay.
I do the bass on all the songs and guitar on some of them, but mainly the bass. No vocals, but just I play guitar and mainly the bass.
And I heard
YouTube, Thick as Thieves.
you're a great harmonica
And
player too.
oh, thank you, thank you. I don't have it like to my veil next to me right now, but
Cool.
besides, I kind of wore out the reeds and I've been playing the hell
Wow.
out of it lately outside.
Yeah.
And
When we get you to
yeah,
come back and play some harmonica, huh? Next time you
you
call
got
in.
it. I will absolutely.
All right. Well, you take care and thank you for sharing a little bit of your time that you hardly have, you know.
Well,
And
you've been busy, and besides, I gotta go
uh
drain
oh.
right now. So,
Alrighty then. So you take care, Martin.
all right, you have a great one.
All right. Bye bye.
Hey, I forgot to ask you something.
Whoa. Uh oh. We're
How
still on the air.
how
What?
up there?
We're still on the air. Let me call you back.
Okay.
Alrighty. Take care. Thanks for
All
calling
right.
in. That was Martin, the bass playing Martian. Boy, does he have some true stories. And he's an excellent musician. Thick as Thieves is his YouTube channel, and I want to thank him again for calling in on his very busy schedule, and then also that he does house cleansings. He's also a reverend. So he goes in and he does house cleansings for those who are in the Los Angeles area. I think he's more like the South Bay area. I think it's, San Pedro, around there. And he has a lot of stories. He has stories from when he was a little kid, too. So, some amazing stories, paranormal stories. So, that was cool. He actually called in. It took a while because he was on tour. Now we're moving on to the news. That was good. I hope you guys could hear him. You might have had to turn up the volume and replay this. All right, so let's move on to the news. Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. Let me turn this off now because I can't keep getting callers in right now. I'm not set up for it. Here we go. Let's turn this off. There you go. So you can always call in. We have time. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Hot rain falls on Saudi Arabia, highest temperature and humidity combo ever recorded in a rainfall. Let's see how high that was. Saudi Arabia must have been astonished. This was on Tuesday. Widespread dust with a temperature of 113 degrees, and the thunderstorm was sizzling at 109 degrees. Wow. Very warm, very strange. That is like scalding water coming down. Southern hemisphere rattled by wave of moderate seismic quakes in South America. China faces serious epidemic of drug-resistant TB. And that's out of Beijing. State officials warn of growing dangers of a massive mud flow on Mount Rainier. Heads up. Heads up in Washington. Rainier looks like it's getting ready to do something. 66-foot concrete dock washes ashore in Oregon. I believe that was, they're still reporting on it. Maybe from 2011 Japan tsunami. Yeah, and they have little kids playing on it. Who knows? Who knows what's on there? What kind of germs? What kind of radiation? You better go over there with a Geiger counter instead of letting kids jump on it and play on it. Strongest earthquake ever recorded west of Ireland, stuns geologists, and it was a magnitude 4.0 on the Richter scale. And that's in Ireland. Life imitates art. New process allows babies to be tested for 3,500 genetic defects in the womb. 3,500 defects. Genetic disorders. Wow. "27 children die of mysterious disease in India." Some kind of encephalitis. Okay, and then yesterday was war, famine, strife, extinction. Scientists warn planet approaching a tipping point of an apocalyptic nature. Okay, let's move on now. See if there's anything on SOT.net real quick. Okay. Wow, I'm so happy he finally got to call in. See, I told you he would. Just been so busy. I try to follow through for my subscribers out there and people out there in Cyberland. Tornado leaves 3 dead in Missouri. And what else do we have going on here? Storm brings golf ball size hail tornado to Montana. Well, it's pretty big. That was today. Tornado touches down in Perth, Australia. Tabor, Calgary damaged by tornado. USGS earthquake magnitude 6.0 southern Peru. Severe Colorado storm, large hail, tornado near Denver International Airport, and heavy flooding around Front Range. Severe weather rips through southern Ontario. Well, there's another tornado there, it shows. State official warn of growing dangers of massive mud flow on Mount Rainier. First ever 4.0 earthquake off Ireland's coast surprises geologists. We saw that already. Again, the tipping point, Earth headed for a catastrophic collapse. Researchers warn. Let's see if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. Okay, now. Got a couple more things. Let's go with the, let's see if I can see it on here. The official December 21st, 2012 countdown clock. Let's do that one today. We have only 196 days, 9 hours, 23 minutes, and 14 seconds as of right now at this point in time, till December 21st, 2012. Alrighty then, let's remove all this. Moving on to, let's go to the watchers. Let's close this so we can read it. It's always the same thing right here. Pega Solar, this is from June 3rd. No, we don't want to read that again. Okay, June 7th. Unexpected discovery. Arctic Ocean is richer in microscopic plants than any other ocean on Earth. Wow. Arctic Ocean. Magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck southern Peru. Oh, here's one. Mars crater shows evidence for climate evolution due to changes in its rotation axis. Axis. A-X-I-S. Oh, again, swarms of unknown spiders spread panic across Assam, India. So it's still running through there. They look like tarantulas or something. Global warming turns tundra into forests. So you can see a forest starting to thrive there. And transit of Venus from space. So that already happened. Tropical cyclone Kuina formed in Indian Ocean, heads up. Also, dust storm over Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, and Persian Gulf today. Yesterday, moderate solar flare reaching M2.1 took place at 20:06 UTC, June 6, 2012. So that's it with the watchers. Now, let's go into E&E News. Let's see what's going on at Fukushima. Yep. TEPCO creates radioactive waste underground storage facility at reactor number 2. Sources government gives up plan to decide on restarting reactors. Procedures have stalled amid deep-rooted public opposition. I don't blame anybody who wants that. Local official. Japan must be only place in world with several million becquerels of radioactive isotopes in urban areas. Incomparable, highly radioactive blue algae on school routes. No, Japan isn't the only place in the world with several million becquerels of radioactive isotopes in urban areas. Remember, they've been burning it, putting it into our atmosphere. It's going everywhere. No, it's not Japan only. They caused a big world devastation, and it's still going. Take credit where credit is due, Japan. You polluted the whole world. The air, the ocean, the land. Yes, Japan. Japan government. TEPCO. What is it? GE. Soaring number of Fukushima children with headaches, nausea, six-fold increase blamed on stress. You know, keep blaming it on whatever. Are you over there reporting on it? Well, you're getting radioactive too. You're getting contaminated too. Go do your studies over there instead of turning off the radiation. Because you are being contaminated also. Excuse me. Sign at Tokyo Hospital. We do not treat radiation exposure. Nurse. We are told to say we don't do tests for radiation exposure. Then that means everybody should leave now. Leave. But then you gotta, they've been there so long. These people that are contaminated, if they do leave, they're going to bring their radiation with them. Now look what's going to happen. Do you see? This is a terrible mess. And humanity has really screwed up this time, hasn't it? They already know. They know that they can't, they can't tell the, I know why, because they're all contaminated. How can they get on a plane? How can you sit next to somebody that is like a walking plutonium vat, next to you? And then I don't know what to say about all this now. They need to turn this stuff off and just now they're going to have to quarantine Japan. I believe they're going to have to quarantine Japan, seal off everything. You're going to have to seal off all of Japan and, see, do not export anything from Japan. Don't let them export anything. Their cars, anything. It's all contaminated. Do you understand? It is all contaminated. They burned it in the air. They're still burning it. They're spewing it out in the oceans and everywhere else. This is going to have to be sealed off, just so you know. And you got to stop Fukushima. You got to stop Fukushima, but then now you're going to have, it was like back when, in the old days when I lived in Hawaii, and they still had the island of Molokai. That used to be a leper colony. Japan's now if you're contaminated with radiation, that's where you go. It's going to have to be sealed off somehow. Oh, human rights. No, they got to live there. Because it's too late. They caused it themselves. They caused it themselves, and the government officials cannot leave it either. Everyone running that country has to stay there. They're all contaminated. All of them. All of them. All of them. All the people at TEPCO. All the people that are over there. All the officials. They should not be allowed to go on a plane. They should not be allowed to leave anything. Let's go with that one. and spread their radioactive joy all over the world? No. Now it's like, like that movie Escape from New York or Escape from LA. Remember John Carpenter's movie? It's going to be like that now. That's it. It's done. On top of, I still don't, what's going on with, see, they're not reporting. This is bad. No news is usually bad when it comes to disasters, just so you know that. Because they're figuring out how they can twist and twank the numbers, the figures, and all that before they release information. No news right away is always, it's bad. Just so you know that. Ambassadors News Conference. Fukushima Daiichi not under control at all. A security problem for entire world. Do you understand that? Stop sitting on your hands and delaying and talking about it. You have to seal it now. You have to do whatever you need to do. And I told you have to get it off the planet. How hard is that? You're going to have to contain it and shoot it out into space. You got all the technology and robots over there in the world. Your drones, take all 60 of those drones and fly this stuff off the planet. Got it? You got drones. Oh, we got drones. We'll send them in there. Or is it too hot for the drones to function over there now? You got 30,000 drones, send them in and start surveying how we can get rid of this and stop it now. We're done being polite. Do you understand? We're done being the diplomacy is done. Millions, if not billions, are going to die already from waiting like this. You know that, right? There's a time where you take action and you stop bull crapping around. You understand? Oh, I got a tip jar. If you want to, if one of you elite out there who does, or someone out there who wants me to stop it, I will commandeer the best, and we'll do something about it, and we're going in. We'll go in and take care of it since they don't know how to. Someone needs to do that. So you let me know. Go to my show a couple days ago. Look up my tip jar. It's in the description boxes. I'll try to put another one in this one. I just don't like doing that every day. But if I get a good-sized chunk of money, I'll find it. I'm out here in the Space Coast. We'll find all the ones that got laid off. Yes, from the space program. We'll design something real fast. We'll get in there and we'll get the best in there. And it's like something like that movie Armageddon. They're going in on like a real heavy-duty, almost like a suicide thing, but I'm going to get people in there that's smart enough to know how to get in there robotically or whatever. Get the stuff out. Take some of these retired shuttles and rockets or whatever and get it off the planet. Why don't you take a bunch of your missiles? Oh, mighty world of arm races. You got all these rockets. You got all these missiles. Decommission the radioactive part of it. Oh, you take that too with it. Just get it out into space. Load them up with a payload of these rods and get them out. You got the technology to do that. You have enough missiles, thousands of missiles. You can shoot them out into space away from the planet. Put the payload of the rods in it and go. Get them off the planet. Jeez. Kyoto. Oh, let's read that again. Ambassadors News Conference. Oh, we must be so It's okay. Just smile. It's not going to hurt you, right? Ambassador News Conference. Fukushima Daiichi not under control at all. A security problem for entire world. Well, then I guess TEPCO, whatever they say, they're incompetent, because why are we just going back and forth and watching it like a drama? Is that so that the news has something to report on? Once the problem's gone, it's all over? What do you think? We got enough missiles that we can somehow, with nitrogen, encase them in nitrogen long enough to get them off the planet. Shoot them, catapult them. I don't care how you do it. Get them off away from the planet out into deep space and eject them, let them freeze. Kyoto, number 4 fuel pool warms. Backup pump stopped Wednesday. Main pump stopped Tuesday. TEPCO expects temperature to start falling. Do you see what I'm talking about? Why are we still listening to TEPCO? You should have took over the nuclear plant. You should have took it over. Even the government should have took it over and said, "That's it. You're out of here. You're out of here. Go throw them in jail. Put them on hold. Put them on hold till you decide what needs to be done, and then you could deal with them later. Get in there and fix it." Oh, the world of technology, yeah. But we're gonna sit there and fry everything and destroy everything. And that's it for today. Let me minimize this. This is disgusting. I'm telling you, you can make this go viral. I'm telling you, that's how you stop it. You have all these rockets, all these missiles, start putting the fuel rods into them. Take all the other ones too while you're at it. All spent fuel rods. Instead of saving them so people could build more weapons or whatever they're doing with that crap. It's all about money. But if you're dead from radiation poisoning, I guess you didn't make any money. You can't take it with you. You can't take the money with you when you go. It's not even good if you leave the planets. They don't use that currency out there. They probably don't use it. Got it? Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. I don't know why we're not hearing anything about Reactor 4. Usually if you don't hear anything, expect the worst. And they're just trying to spin it a different way. That happened. That's how I knew, like in the '89 earthquake, when we were watching the baseball game, California. We're watching the playoffs or whatever it was, and they're out there, All-Star or whatever I was watching, and the baseball game, and then all of a sudden they said we are having a earth, and it cuts out, and they didn't come back on right away. They could read those. They could read the meters right away and tell you from all over the place. They could have said we had a 7 point whatever or 6.9. No, they waited a long time. So I said, okay, quick, take everything off the walls. It's coming this way. And I was down in Southern California. We knew. Then the walls started shaking. I don't know, it took about 5 minutes for it to travel from San Francisco down. But it took them a long time to say how long the earthquake was, what happened. They didn't do anything. They could have made the announcement. But they didn't because they wouldn't sit there and play with the numbers. Right? Because once you go into a state of emergency, isn't that what it is over there? Once you hit something like 7.0 and up, state of emergency, then somehow you don't have to pay your income tax. So let's jumble the figures and lower everything. So God forbid you don't pay your income tax or whatever it is. I heard that before. I've heard that from several professional people. How's that one? Heads up. You have a bad earthquake, and it takes them a while, and they start lowering the figure. The figure should be, oh, it's 6.4, then it's 6.4. You don't lower it. The gauge went to, the graph went to 6.4. How do you lower it? Oh, 6.2, 6.1, 6.3. Why? Especially if it's digital. Once it hits that number, boom, that's it. That's what it is. Why are you lowering it? Oh, because it didn't disperse and we're gonna do the norm. No, it's whatever it said. That's what it is. If it was lower in certain areas, you say the highest it went, it was 6.4, and in some other areas it seemed a little lower, but that's what the numbers are. That's what it is. Don't lower it. Don't use different scales. Oh, we're going to change the scale after the Northridge quake that happened in Reseda, in epicenter, not Northridge. Yeah, just lower it because if you don't, then you don't have to pay taxes. How's that one? Heard that from some contractors. How's that? Saw the real map. One place it was something like a 9.1. It was way up there. But let's lower it all. Okay? If you're going to make gauges and seismographs, then read them as it is. Call the real figure out. How hard is that? You call it out. Why? Why are you going to change it? You can say in other areas it was lower, but this is how the numbers stand. Man, you know, the manipulation of the truth. That's what it's called. The manipulation of the truth. Whoa, you scientists, my peers are idiots sometimes. They just are. And don't think most of the public by mouth, all over the place, they knew what happened. They knew the numbers were changed. And then also in the Northridge quake, including myself, we call in, they try to say, oh, it was a 6 point something. It was bigger than the 71 Sylmar quake, and everyone knew it that lived there. They didn't expect the people calling in to Caltech saying, no, that's a lie, because I was there in 71. You had most of the population calling in saying, no way it was that. Oh, now we're going to have to change the scale. Now we're going to have to change the amount of radiation that's safe for you in your food. Do you understand? Stop manipulating the truth. Stop forcing the figures. Here's another one. You're forcing the figures. Another terminology is you're lying. How's that? You're manipulating the figures. You're forcing the figures. They don't match up. Oh, my cat got upset. All right. You take care. Sorry for that rant, but that's just how the truth is. You got it? You have no dignity, you know, you're all discredited out there, science community. You know that, right? It's terrible. It's bad enough the politicians, you know, everyone says, oh, the politicians, they say one thing, they do another. Science shouldn't be like that. Remember that. Might as well be back in the Stone Age. Alrighty then. We have 4 days down. It's the eve of Friday. 1 day to go. You take care. Hopefully I didn't piss off too many scientists and people out there tonight. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just like, you know, expressing my opinion. Being I have a couple master degrees and lived through most of this crap that's going on. Alright, take care. Oh, and one more thing. See, the problem is that you have people. Wait, see, I almost stopped it, but I'm not going to. Here's another thing. So you're going to take away everyone's jobs. And guess what? They have nothing to do all day long other than keep applying for jobs. But guess what else they do? They start focusing in. That gives everyone time to focus in and see what's really going on. Instead of being too busy with work, you know, and being blindsided because you have all these other things going on, with all the people on unemployment right now or without jobs, no unemployment, it gives them time. Time to watch the politicians, to watch the scientists. Oh, what a big backfire that was on you guys, wasn't it, to unemploy all of us? I guess that was like a big mistake. And especially when you cut off public access. And I went over there to the council meetings and tried to fight for it. And a funny thing was, one of the things that aired on TV was that I even tried using that Barack Obama even did a show out of the same studio. Listen to me. He did a show about his book out of the same studio that I was in and used that. But I don't know what name he used. I think it was Barry Satora about his book. So somewhere flying out there is that interview about his book on, I think it was Adelphia back then, or Time Warner. I think it's Adelphia. And he came public access and promoted his book. Wonder what he talked about. That would be interesting if anyone knows where that is. There's the goose that laid the golden egg. There's your big info right there. You know, people wondering what he would talk about on his book as whatever name he used. I don't know. All right, so there you go. And public access, that's more free for him. He's probably gave all kinds of information about himself. So, see, that's the importance of public access TV. But you took it off, and that was only in communities. That was only in the little communities. It didn't go way out there all over the place unless you shipped the tape. Well, guess what? Now we're worldwide. See? We could have just been doing public access shows, not going on YouTube. The reason why I and probably millions of people went, of directors and producers went on to YouTube, is because you cut off our public access show. So didn't that backfire? Too late. People are watching, huh? Alrighty then. The things they do that are mindless, and I don't know who their consultants are, but, I don't know. But then there's always good usually triumphs over evil, so maybe that's why that happens. You do one thing, and then all of a sudden something bigger happens to get the word out. Alrighty then. Well, you take care. Sorry about I had a rant again. You might want to replay this last part of the rant. It's kind of important to hear what I have to say about it, in case I was talking too fast. Well, take care, and I'll be back again tomorrow.